Angry guy here, and women are turning to theft and sex work for survival as passport bros leave. Women are turning to theft and sex work for survival as passport bros leave. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this article. It's so interesting. All right. So this article is titled as I make $20,000 a month with a job I can do whatever I want. I absolutely love it. So initially you think, oh wow, so that sounds great. But then you find out what it actually is. And they're actually trying to peg this as a side hustle. Side hustles allow people to make extra income, lining their pockets and working towards the future. They come in many forms, including a woman who makes $600 a time at a time selling used sofas. So that sounds good, right? Just hear me out. While another woman earns $129,000 a year thanks to her pasta cooking side hustle. This woman's side hustle became her sole source of income thanks to her huge success. Skyla Black has made large sums of money from posting snaps online. The young woman posting snaps online. This is her side hustle, right? The young woman found her pictures became hugely popular on Instagram, where her following boomed. Skyla, who's posting online since early 2021, took to TikTok to explain exactly how she makes her huge income. She told her followers, I started an Instagram account in January 2021. I was basically posting lingerie stuff. My following popped off my following popped off so much people thought I bought fake followers. By April 2021, the content creator began the content creator began to consider sharing her content with more people online. She finally signed up to a popular subscriber site when her Instagram account had 40,000 followers. She said, "As you can imagine, my first month was very well paid. That was very well paid. That first month, I had around 1.5 thousand fans. I'm not going to beat around the bush. In my first month, I made $20,000. Skylar's financial triumph wasn't a one off event. As of February 2023, she proudly claimed that she was still making the same sum each month, meaning she had pocketed a staggering $440,000 in total during that time frame. I absolutely love it, Skylar told her followers, as well as her huge salary. Skylar boasts a $54,000 $54,800 car, the BMW 118i. So, guys, oh, this sounds really nice until you read between the lines. I investigated this. I'm not going to show you anything because it would actually not be appropriate. You see, it said that she was posting lingerie pictures on Instagram, and then her following boomed, and then she joined a subscriber site. If you go to her Instagram, you'll find a link to her dun 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 OnlyFools account. She's an OnlyFools model, all right, and she's doing. And guys, this is and she's an OnlyFools model, so this is sex work, all right. She's a sex worker, and they're calling it a side hustle. And guys, this is the future. This is the future for young women. The future for young women is this type of nefarious work because they've now worked to normalize this type of thing. This is a complete and utter normalization of this type of degenerate behavior, and you have credible websites now. Literally have credible websites. You have the mainstream media now pushing OF only fools as an actual career that is empowering, and this is what women are so proud of it. And then when they when things don't go well for them with it, they say, "Oh, it's if it wasn't for men, then we wouldn't be doing this. Men are the ones to blame because on one hand it's empowering, but on the other hand, men are the ones to blame for it because if men weren't buying, they wouldn't be selling." This is, guys, the lack of responsibility and accountability. It will never end, which is why men have to keep walking away. But on the other hand, there is a huge surge in the number of women committing theft. Oh, you heard me right. All right, check this out. Surge in number of women being jailed as overcrowding crisis grips prisons. Yeah, it wouldn't be. It would be fine if it was men, but now it's women, so they shouldn't be punished. Listen to guys. Listen to how terrible this simp article is. A government pledge to cut the number of female prisoners as a wider overcrowding crisis grips the sector. So they've pledged to put fewer women in prison for committing crimes. Pledge, guys. So it's okay. Men belong in prison, but as more and more women are being charged with crimes, they're pledging. The government is pledging to put fewer women in prison for their crimes. This is an insane society we live in. Some 3,604 women were behind bars at the beginning of October this year, up 15% since January, which amounts to nearly 500 more women. And the most recent Ministry of Justice data estimates that the number will surge to 3,800 by November next year. The Prison Reform Trust said it was concerned the figures showed a reverse of a more than decade-long trend, which saw the number of women in prison fall substantially from 7,418 in 2014 to 4,120 in 2022. It comes as the number of people imprisoned in England and Wales has surged to a record level with just 557 spaces left, with ministers considering releasing prisoners early, female prisoners early, in a rush for ways to ensure prisons do not run out of available spaces. The issue has been impacted by a push for longer prison sentences and lengthy court backlogs, clouding the system uh, would would remand prisoners awaiting trial. Okay. Campaigners warned the latest figures on the female prison population undermine the government's commitment to cutting the number of women in prison, arguing that short sentences often handed out to women fuel reoffending. Okay, so it's okay to keep men in prison for whatever reason and keep growing the male prison population. But because women are now heading off to prison, because more women are committing crimes and being incarcerated, they're saying that women who, for especially short sentences, they should not be placed in prison. Research by the Prison Reform Trust found 6 in 10 women sent to prison last year were sentenced to less than 6 months behind bar. So the argument is that women are more likely to reoffend and commit crimes if they're sent to prison. Guys, do you hear the madness? Do you hear the insanity? Women are more likely to commit crimes if you send them to prison. So the key is to let them not is to keep them out of prison and just let them keep on committing crimes. Shoplifting was the most frequent offense, making up just over a third of women's prison sentences, shorter than 6 months in 2022. This is a far larger proportion than men, for whom theft from shops makes up just 16% of sentences of less than 6 months. So, guys, women are committing theft at alarming rates compared to men. Over a third of all women that are now in prison are there are there for theft. Over a third. All right, versus 16% in men. So women are stealing at high rates. And the argument is that they should not be sent to prison for this because it's only going to result in them reoffending. It's not the right place for them. Guys, this is wow. Researchers found stark differences between police forces and nothing shyer, 73% of jail sentences handed out to women last year were for less than 6 months, while 43% given to women were shorter than 6 months in Maricide. Indy Cross chief executive of Agenda Alliance told the Independent, banging uh, banging a mom up for theft from shops, such as stealing nappies or cowpole for a child, is not the answer. They are so full of it. They're so, oh, look at these poor mothers. They're just stealing for their children. Don't put them in jail. Poor mom. Poor mom just needs nappies for her children. But that's not what this is actually about. All right, they're saying for all women, all right, should not be given these should not be given jail sentences for things that are less than 6 months. All right, we should not be putting women in jail for petty crimes. Such as we should not be putting women in jail for crimes of theft that don't result in long jail sentences. Guys, this is crazy, crazy. This is crazy. Women are stealing at insane rates, and the justice system wants to let them out onto the streets. And the argument is that if we keep on incarcerating them, it's only going to raise the chances of them reoffending. So by not punishing them, by not taking them off the streets, they're less likely to reoffend. How, guys? What kind of clown world are we living in right now? That makes no sense. Okay, Miss Cross argued that community solutions were needed instead. As she warned, we must move away from short sentences for women once and for all. We must move away. So basically, no jail time for women committing crimes that will result in sentences of 6 months or less. So basically, women can steal, they can commit various acts of violence, and they won't get in trouble for it because guys, this is insanity. This is insanity, insanity, insanity. All right, no more. So basically, most women now, when they would commit crimes, they would not face any punishment. This is madness upon madness upon madness. Madness. She added, short sentences don't prevent crime, they fuel reoffending. Gosh, our work with disadvantaged women shows too often they end up in prison after a trauma or crisis, such as an unaddressed mental ill health, loss of income, or poverty, or being mistreated by a male partner. Of course, put it on the men. Putting a woman behind bars will wreck her life and all too often the lives of her children and families. Guys, this is a load of madness, absolute madness, absolute madness. As I've said, guys, this is it's just going to continue in this direction. It's no wonder why men are walking away from Western society, saying we're done, we're not playing this game anymore. We want to have nothing to do with it, and they're going overseas and starting new lives. If they find someone they like, they're getting into a relationship, but beyond that, that's the end of that's the end of the nonsense, guys. I'm just disgusted. I'm beyond disgusted. And guys, like, also, if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and never miss another video again. And like the video because it tells YouTube you're enjoying the content, you want to see more of it. So YouTube will show you more of it. Guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about everything we discussed here today? Women are turning to theft and sex work for survival as passport bros leave. I want to hear your thoughts upon this and where do you think we are headed? Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.